All right, guys, it's time we have a conversation. Moon Baby from Evolving Skies.
Oh my God!
What the is going on with this thing? Let's talk about it.
Oh, okay. Oh, you crazy.
All right, guys, so whether you knew this or not, I deeply, deeply care about our community, and something inside of me told me to make this video, so I'm shooting a little bit from the hip. I want to give you guys my take on what I think is happening with the Umbreon, specifically from Evolving Skies. So let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the card real quick. So I have to imagine that people know about this card, but if you don't, I want to give a brief little synopsis on this card and kind of its history and where it came from and just the overall lore of this card. So this is the Umbreon, or the Umbreon Vmax alternate art from Evolving Skies. It comes from the sister set, which is Eevee Heroes, which is in Japanese. Eevee Heroes is a very sought-after set. It was a minimally printed set, and the alternate arts out of that set are very hard to pull. So I definitely believe that there is some correlation between the values of Evolving Skies and Eevee Heroes. So there's something to be said there. But now, this specific card in general, I almost feel has kind of been selected from the English print run, which is Evolving Skies, as the front runner. Now, if we all remember correctly, when Evolving Skies first came out, the chase card was Rayquaza, the Vmax version, because there's two. There's a V and a Vmax. This was the chase card, and people that have been around since the beginning of Evolving Skies can attest to that. This card has fallen off to the wayside. Why? I do not know. This is the card that everyone wanted to begin with, and we can see sales data that really supports that that statement. I mean, when this card capped out in a PSA 10, it was at $770 last sold on eBay. Today, it has been on the rise, which I will say it valued out at $388, and it has gone all the way back up to $567. Now, it hasn't reached its original plateau of $770, but we will say that this was the card, okay? eBay last sold has it loose at $260, and TCG Player has it at $299. I think this is properly priced as far as I'm concerned. Now, if we go to the Umbreon, so these two cards were competing on some level when Evolving Skies first came out. But now, if we look at the Umbreon and we look at sales data, eBay has this card now at $470, and it has TCG, and TCG has it at $498. What we see here, when it plateaued initially, it was at $841 in a PSA 10. That's pretty common as far as like the big chase cards for certain sets when they first come out, because no one can get them in a PSA 10. Sometimes people get the product before release date. They already grade it, so on and so forth. I want to talk about this spike right here. So the spike started, okay, at roughly mid to late August is what we'll call it at, okay? You could get this card in a PSA 10 at $639 at that time. Now look at this upward right here. We are now plateauing. Okay, if I look up here, we are plateauing at 1,100. Let me see if I can pull this over so you can see it, because it's important. We are plateauing currently at $1,150. This movement right here is wildly volatile. It is unnatural as far as I'm concerned, and it's confusing. So we have to try to figure out what is causing this. If you look at any other card in the set, guys, and I'm not going to put you through that type of exercise. If you look at every other card, because I have, the movement kind of looks like this right here. It's kind of steady, and depending on the card, it's kind of ticking up in a natural form, okay? So it's, you know, by natural, I mean up and down, but overall, if we were to grade this out, the overall grade of it, and by grade, I mean like the tilt is, it's projecting upwards, right? Which is pretty normal for this set right now, okay? If you look at other chase cards, other alternate arts, Evolving Skies has more alternate arts than any other set in Sword and Shield by far. So, but this troubles me, okay? And from what I've heard from some reputable sources, and I'm just not going to name names and say who's, but I'm just going to tell you what I know. From what I've heard, there are some big players in the space, okay? And I'm not going to call these guys scalpers, but I'm going to call them, you know, buyers of certain cards. And what is happening right now, in my opinion, is there's an artificial manipulation of this card that is going on right now. So some of you might be saying, what are you talking about? So what I mean by that is they are buying up all of the stock that is in rotation on the open market. And once you own all the stock, you can then, like, you don't even have to own all of it. Let's say you own 90% of it. Let's say you own 85% of it. You can start to dictate the price and cost of that item. And that's significant because you're kind of creating an artificial bubble or an artificial expectation of what this card is worth. And let's say the other 15 to 20% of the cards that are in circulation, those people are ones that are never going to sell the card. But what's happening right now is I think a lot of people in the community are seeing what these are selling for. And I guarantee you there's a lot of people that were in this $800 to $600, $700 realm where they may have graded or purchased their Umbreon in a PSA 10 or even loose for that matter. And they're saying, oh, let me dust this thing off and let me pick up a $500 bill. They're selling those off. These are people that wouldn't normally have been selling their card, but they're doing it now. So once someone controls this much of the population of card, also can artificially manipulate and control the market by buying the card at $500 or $600 loose, which is unnatural, we will say, okay? So like, let's say you're willing to buy them for whatever price. There's a guy that has $1 million. He can afford to buy each card at $500, and he say this is which will instantly make that the buying rate for this card, even if it shouldn't be that. So here's the meat to this episode, okay? And what I'm going to tell you guys, be careful, okay? Be careful with this card. I would highly not suggest going out and ripping off $1,200 on a PSA 10, but I'm also not going to tell you what to do with your money. Do what you will and what you want with your money, because it is your money, okay? Just like I would never let someone tell me how to spend my money, I'm not going to tell you how to spend yours. I can only give a recommendation, which you obviously didn't ask for. I'm putting this out into space. I would definitely give this some time and allow whatever is happening to kind of shake itself out, because this really bothers me. This uptick like this is unnatural, and it's confusing, and it doesn't feel it feels artificial, is what I'm trying to say. The same thing with the cost of the booster boxes. At the end of the day, I could be wrong. This could just be a thing where EV Heroes is dragging up the entire Evolving Skies market. Have I ever seen this before? Not really. I don't know that I've ever seen this on this level, and I was trying to rack my brain so I could give you a proper diagnosis and a crisp answer on something like that, but I can't think of in my mind when this has happened like this. And what I mean by that is where it comes out of the gate strong, which normally new sets do, but then it has its natural die off and it goes into a valley, which is natural for damn near every set, probably every set. But then to see this type of upward movement, I can't think of one other card or set where I've seen this happen. Where it's so drastic, where it literally doubles within 2 months. It's volatile, it's unnatural, and it's risky, and it's, and it makes me pause, right? It makes me pause. So that's all I'm going to say. Tread lightly, because I care about you guys, and that's the whole purpose of this video, essentially. So yeah, guys, I hope this was helpful on some level. I hope this gives you an idea of where we were, where we are, and maybe where we're going. And you may have heard it here first. I hope, you know what? Maybe I hope I'm wrong, and this thing goes to the moon. No pun intended. And, it does what it does. But I have this weird feeling that this thing is going to crash, and there's going to be a lot of upset people, and I don't want to see that. And I just want you guys to be cognizant of what's going on. So that's going to be it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I will see you on the next live or the next episode. Peace.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's time to hit the button already. Do it now. What do you think, I'm dancing for free here?